Well, good evening and welcome to She'll Be Right, Mate. This is episode number, I don't even know what we're up to. I'm sure we'll find out before too long. If you do like what you see tonight, just hit the subscribe button below and you'll be notified of all the future videos. Now, in She'll Be Right, Mate, we talk about anything that makes a lot of sense over a couple of drinks. And because nothing really does make sense until you're 3 drinks in, I'm up to my 3rd one now. So I'd like to make a big welcome to my sidekick, the man who's larger than life. Please put your hands together and welcome Luke Lewis. Cheers, Luke.
Cheers to you, Johnny.
So, Luke, what's been happening? How's your week been?
Pretty good. I have got an exemption. I've just been given an exemption to get across the border.
Okay. Which border is that?
Queensland, New South Wales.
Okay.
Yeah. I've always had a pass to work across the border, but I've now been given an exemption because my girlfriend actually lives in Brunswick Heads. Mm-hmm. Haven't seen her. We've been to a place in, I don't know, 6 weeks or something.
6 weeks, yeah.
Yeah. So the government's told me that for my own mental health, I can go.
Okay, makes a lot of sense. Yeah, it does make a lot of sense. My mother lives over the New South Wales border as well, and I haven't seen her since January. So we're looking at around about 5 months, and they're not giving me an exemption because I guess they well, I haven't asked them for one. That's probably the main reason. But now I know exactly what I need to do. Well, good luck with that, Luke. I'm glad that's worked out. Yeah, sure. What about the rest of the stuff? I mean, you seen anything odd this week?
Always watch something unusual
on
YouTube. YouTube, Johnny, not RedTube like you.
Hey, the stuff I watch is not that unusual. There are channels that you can get. There are parts of it that you can look at that are actually quite odd, but the ones that I look at, the things I see there are definitely not that odd.
Compared to what you usually watch, right?
Yes, compared to what I usually watch on other channels, yes.
Yeah, no, but I was actually watching a couple of YouTubers, and I also read a few articles, and one of them I read was from BuzzFeed.
Okay. I can't believe you watch BuzzFeed.
Well, if you want to find some strange content, some worthy content, you've got to watch BuzzFeed and all those Looney Tunes.
I think I'll watch BuzzFeed and just watch any normal story you'll find on any media outlet. And they've actually got a very odd version of it.
Well, have you heard of Swurfs?
A Swurf? What's that, like a woman's Smurf?
Close.
Okay.
Close.
Well, I'm excited now. Yeah. Tell me about Swurfs.
Swurf, a sex, I've got to read this.
Okay.
Sex worker, exclusionary, radical feminist.
Sex worker, exclusionary, radical feminist.
Yeah.
Okay, so I got the sex worker bit.
Yeah.
What's the next one?
Exclusionary.
Exclusionary, what does that mean? That she's not like anyone else?
She's an exclusive sex worker that throws in feminism into her sex work.
So she's a feminist sex worker.
It is strange.
She's exclusive. Do you know something? If there's a feminist sex worker out there on the entire planet, I would say she'd be pretty exclusive.
And if you're a hooker, you aren't exclusionary.
Well, no.
You share the love around, don't you?
Well, you would hope so, unless obviously your client had a lot of money and was relatively fit.
Yeah. Well, this is what it is, right?
Maybe Richard Gere.
Richard Gere.
Maybe that's what it was. Maybe that's what Pretty Woman was out. Was she a feminist?
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No.
Okay.
Although she didn't let no man hit her around.
No, I guess she did. She stood up for herself very well.
She did. It is basically a feminist who is a prostitute.
Right.
Sex worker, sorry.
Yeah.
The new term, sex worker. So what happens is this feminist prostitute,
right?
Her clients come to see her.
Yes.
To alleviate themselves of male privilege.
Right. And how much male privilege does a sex worker usually have? What type of sex worker are we talking about?
She doesnst have the male privilege, Johnny. She takes it from her clients.
Right, okay. So they deposit the male privilege inside her? like how?
I don't know. Well, I haven't been. Maybe that's what we can do, Johnny. Next couple of weeks we can find one. You can visit, do a bit of research. Yeah. Or you can just go on RedTube. So ladies
Are we talking ladies when we're talking about this here? Because there are male feminists as well.
Yeah, they're a little bit
Very easy to find the male feminist.
Yeah,
He's the one that orders the soy latte.
and they're the ones that are a little bit more feminine than the female.
Right, okay.
feminists.
So, okay, maybe some of these people themselves are actually sex workers.
So you go to these feminist prostitutes,
Right.
they belittle you,
Okay.
they make you feel
Okay.
trashy, and they basically own you.
Right, because
for
seeing
an
a
hour.
prostitute doesn't belittle you in the first place.
No.
Okay.
But it even gets better.
Okay.
The black feminist sex worker.
Okay, now we're treading on toes. Here we go.
This one is a dominatrix.
Right.
I can't remember her name, but her clients come and see her,
Right.
and she alleviates them of white privilege.
Okay.
Yeah? So what she does is
Okay.
makes them put on a gimp mask,
Right.
makes them read literature from black feminist authors,
Okay.
while she whips the shit out of them
Right.
to alleviate their male privilege.
Okay.
Mm.
I think there'd be way too much thinking going on in that for me to worry. I'd be more worried about the pain.
Oh yeah.
So she only has clients that are white. That's pretty racist of her. I mean, could you sue her for like $230,000 or whatever it is?
No, I guess she could get black clients that have internalized slavery. Is it?
There could be some black people that
Yeah.
there are black people out there that do have white privilege. Apparently, they're called conservatives.
Yeah, Kanye West.
Yeah, another one, Candace Owens.
White privilege.
Yeah, absolutely. Shout out to Candace as well. You're
yeah.
awesome.
Amazing. You think that's strange, John?
Pretty fucking strange,
It
yeah.
is strange. But that's not the strangest thing I saw.
Okay, what
I was
else?
watching YouTuber Blair White. Big shout out to Blair White. Amazing YouTuber.
Mm-hmm.
She's actually transgender
Okay.
and looks fantastic. She's transitioned. And
Or transition from male to female.
From
From
male.
female to male. Because you keep referring to Blair as she.
No, from male to female.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And she's been covering a thing called transspecies.
Transspecies, okay.
Or otherkin, as they're known.
Right, okay.
Yeah, and because people are starting to put the two together,
Mm-hmm.
and she's trying to separate the two, which is, I think, quite wise, because
Okay, yeah, because species are completely separate. Yeah.
these people are nuts, Johnny.
Okay.
These people are fucking
Okay, tell me
nuts,
about
I'll tell you.
them. This is going to be good. Tell me about them.
So, the first one
Yeah.
is a deer.
A deer, yeah.
It's an American lady who believes that she is a deer or part deer or identifies spiritually as a deer.
Okay.
And she's transgendered, transspecied, and lesbian at the same time.
Okay, so she's
I'm not sure how that works.
transgender,
And lesbian.
lesbian,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah.
transspecies.
And transspecies. So she's a transgendered lesbian deer.
Okay, anything else? Is she anything else as well? Like, can we fit
I don't
anything
know.
else in that?
I don't know. We probably
I mean,
could.
that's the
just
most
crazy.
vivid. No, it's the most vivid imagination. We should encourage people to actually have imagination because that's how things get done. I mean, maybe not encourage them down that path, but at least there's an imagination that's been put to it. There are a lot of things that we wouldn't have if it wasn't for imagination.
Exactly. But look, this is what she does.
Okay.
Right? Occasionally, once a week, apparently, for a treat,
Right?
she'll be let out. She'll identify as her deerkin, go
Okay.
out to the front yard and
Right.
start prancing around and eating grass.
Okay. What type of grass are we talking about?
Just
Because
your lawn. Just your lawn.
okay, right.
Just
Because
lawn,
certain grass can make people do some funny things.
I don't imagine if she'd have to smoke that first.
Right.
But no. She
Are there
just-
mushrooms growing in this lawn?
I don't think so.
Okay.
And the other thing, her girlfriend
Okay.
scratches her behind the ears,
Right.
and apparently deers love that.
Okay.
And when she gets scratched behind the ears, she actually has an orgasm, or, as she puts it, a deergasm.
Right. This is getting late.
A deergasm, Johnny. It's actually quite enjoyable to watch. It's
I guess the only
Not in a
question
sexual
I
way.
have, because a lot of this is making sense, but there's one major thing that's really confusing me. The subject
Hunting
that we're
season?
talking about. The subject we're talking
Hunting
about.
season.
We came up with it was a trans species, transgender, lesbian.
deer.
Right, so I got lost on all of that. Answer me a question.
Yes.
Does it have a penis?
No.
Okay, right, now I know.
I don't
now
know.
I finally know what we're talking about.
I actually don't know whether, because she's transgendered, so I'm not sure which, because, yeah, I don't know.
I lost you just at that little bit there.
Is she a buck or a doe?
I don't know.
The question you're looking for.
Are we talking about Buck again?
No, not
Big
Buck
shout out to
Buckingham.
Buck Buckingham. How are you, Buck? I hope you're watching.
Although he might stumble across her in the woods one time.
Oh, he might do. He might do. Out for that gigantic footprint out there.
The other
Bucket's out there, all right? Follow her around. Get her to use her sense of smell, and you never know what
The
you'll
next
find.
one is a lady from Germany
Okay.
who identifies as a cat.
Shout out to the Germans.
Yeah, they're into some crazy stuff, but I didn't think I'd ever see Germans into wearing cat ears, a cat tail.
Okay. I have done in some clubs I've been to.
I'm
I
sure.
actually have seen that.
I'm sure you have.
Yeah.
But she was saying that when she's walking down the street and she sees a dog,
Right.
she actually hisses at the
Right.
dog.
Does she climb trees? Does she climb
Sorry.
trees? Like, what does she do?
I shouldn't be laughing at this, but it's damn funny. I don't know whether she climbs trees. She doesn't
Okay.
look physically strong enough to
Okay.
climb trees. She's more of a house cat. Yeah, but
I guess I've got to ask whether she's got a cat flap. That's going to be the next thing I have to ask.
The Germans love the cat flap.
I bet they do.
They hit
I
them
bet
all
they
the
do.
time. They hit
I
them
bet
all
they
the
do.
time.
She got kitty litter as well, or does she not need it being German?
Well, she's actually toilet trained. I'm not sure
Okay.
if she uses the kitty litter tray or something like that.
Okay.
But she actually...
She might use the ensuite, you know. You never know.
Possibly. Like the cat out of Meet the Fockers sort of thing.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Dad!
Whoa.
Jinx. Jinx, don't do it.
Jinxie.
Jinx,
No.
don't do it.
No. No. Jesus. Moses. Hold on.
Hold on.
Moses, hold on. I'm gonna save you.
Yeah.
Shout out to Jinxie the cat.
Yeah, Jinxie the cat. But
Cheers, Jinxie.
She gets down on all fours, and when she wants something to eat or a snack or something, she purrs and rubs herself around her boyfriend's legs.
Right?
Yeah, it's quite unusual way of saying "let me out." Or
Not really.
Take me
Not
to bed.
really. I've had plenty of girls that have purred,
God.
girlfriends that have purred
Yeah.
when they've actually been around the legs, and I never thought once to just go and let them outside. I never thought once to put them outside for the night. Maybe that's where I went wrong. Maybe that's why those relationships don't exist
Like the
anymore.
Flintstones.
Tell me more about this cat woman.
Oh, forget about her, Johnny.
Okay.
The third one I've got is a lady.
Right.
Oh, God, I think she's a lady, please.
Okay.
I don't know. It gets very confusing watching this stuff. She identifies as a hybrid extinct wolf.
A hybrid extinct wolf.
Extinct wolf that has been dead for 30,000 years or something. So
Right.
she identifies as a hybrid dire wolf.
That would just be bones right up till now. And I'll tell you what, there's a few girls I see walking through the streets in Surfers Paradise where I live that actually look like they're, been dead for 30 years.
Well, you do live in Surface, Johnny. Yeah, but
Shout out to the Surfers girls too. Cheers to the Surfers girls.
cheers to the skanks.
They're not all that bad. Not all.
I'm only joking. Except for a couple I know. But and she was saying that to be fellow kin, you have to identify as the animal either in a physical,
Right.
a spiritual, or
yeah.
a psychological format.
Okay.
And she identifies as a wolf, and she was being interviewed by a reporter. And every time he asked a question she didn't like, she would do this big growl at it.
So let me ask this right. No, I get that. Like, I mean, I've had plenty of girls that have growled at me when I haven't asked a question that they like.
I thought it'd be you that do the growling, Johnny.
I'm going to tell you one thing, buddy. If you can get some girls that are growlers, you're in for like a really exciting night.
Oh, good.
There. But let me ask this, right? So she either identify as a wolf physically, spiritually, or psychologically.
Or one of them, or all three.
Right. Now, right, okay, because she probably wouldn't be able to identify with it physically.
No, because it's dead.
Right. Spiritually, she probably wouldn't be able to because the spirit would be away from the body.
No, because she would identify like Elizabeth Warren as a Native American.
Oh, okay. Right, now I'm with you. Yeah, okay.
I'm guessing.
Now that makes perfect sense. Makes perfect sense. The only difference is that woman probably has more wolf in her than what Elizabeth Warren has Native American in it.
Exactly.
Probably. Not. I don't know for sure, but
What do you
I'd
mean
go out on
by-
a limb. Well, it couldn't be less, could it? Couldn't have
Yeah,
less
but
wolf
how's she
in it.
getting the wolf in her? Too far, maybe.
Oh, not at all. No, not at all. The wolf would have got in here nice and easily. There was probably some German bloke at
So
some
many
stage.
fucking lines
It was
that I
probably
think
the German from the
It got
comment
in- it
before.
got into the cat flap, Johnny.
No, his name was just Joseph Wolf.
Oh, Joseph Running Wolf.
Joseph Running Wolf. That would be the one.
Yeah.
No, I guess not. So, any other odd things, or are we saving them for another day now, Luke?
Oh, mate, look, so many blow my mind, but I think we've entertained or bored, whichever way you.
Well, I tell you
look
one
at
thing. I'm certainly entertained. I wish this was continuing. This has been very, very interesting.
Absolutely.
And if you want to actually see more of Luke Lewis's oddities, right, odder than what you'll find at Ripley's, believe it or not, then a big shout out to Ripley's, by the way. I hope we get commission for that. However, if you want to hear more about or learn more about Luke Lewis's oddities, hit the subscribe button below, and you'll be informed of all the future videos. So this has been She'll Be Right, Mate. We've had a good drink together. We've had a good laugh.
Good laugh.
Cheers to
Cheers.
yourself, Luke. She'll be right, mate.
Cheers. She'll be right.